Hey everyone, this is your host Chris G from Blurred's Eye View. And if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Here, let me explain. First, it's free. You definitely can't beat that. Plus, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast and more. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Aren't you tired of talking heads just talking? Black Gamut Entertainment is vowing to change the industry. We podcast with a purpose, and our shows have goals. If you want to help make a change, then come join the Black Gamut family. Together, we make a difference. Hey everybody, this is your host Chris G. Welcome to Blurred's Eye View. Blurred's Eye View is a podcast that covers geek pop culture and everything in between. And with me is my co-host Darius. How's it going, DC?
Hello world, what is going on?
Yeah, oh yeah. Today we got with us one of the panelists from What the Shit podcast, which I'm a proud member of, Courtney Duckin. How's it going, Court?
How y'all doing? It's a blessing to be on Bird's Eye View, must I say. I never thought I'd make it here. Mama, I made it.
You made it.
You can make it anywhere.
Right. It's like New York. We got a lot. It's a lot that's been kicking off within the past couple of weeks as far as geek pop culture, whether it's games, comics, despite the promo, DC Universe has this DC fandom thing that's been kicking off. And let me tell you, the news that's been jumping out from that is amazing. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But first, the first review we're going to look at, me and Darius have pondered over this, and we've discussed it to great length. And it was the ending of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And tears were shed. Hearts were not broken.
About that, I was a little.
Some were snatched out of chests.
That was me. That was
me. We'll start with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, what did you think, man? Tell the audience? Hey, and for the record, I would say spoiler warning, but it's been about 2 weeks. Who cares? At this point, it's done. If you haven't seen it, you've had 2 weeks to see it. I'm sorry, people. Get over it.
Move on.
There it is. So, Darius, go ahead and tell me what you thought about the 2-hour series finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Man, where do I begin on a show that for 7 years I've heavily invested emotionally, spiritually, I've bought in, and it's sad to see them go, but hopefully the way it ended, there are new beginnings. We have Sky, who is probably a part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. Sword. Oh, Lord. We have – I want to see more Fitz. We didn't get much of Fitz. We got him at the end. But when we got him, it was like Star-Lord 2.0, but better. Like
yes,
he didn't
it
fuck
was.
up and take the gauntlet off. And
when you talk about somebody coming in on the clutch –
it's like Kobe. He came through
like,
that 11th hour, threw that touchdown pass, and walked off and retired. Jesus. Coulson. We got Coulson Academy. I mean, it was so much. But the biggest takeaway from it for me, as a person who watched that show beginning to end, is being able to have them go out on their horse. You see so many shows get canceled or so many shows just drop off and you never get any closure. So we got closure. It still hurts because I have nothing to watch now. Like I mean, Smallville, I watched that 10 seasons. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., 7 seasons. You know, when I get invested to a show, that's it. I'm singular focused on that show because shows like that with storylines and characters you can relate to and it's touching. But
yeah. I will say that for me, it was a bittersweet ending. It, like you said, they went out on their high horse. They didn't. Nobody died. There wasn't this disappointing ending. Everybody landed in a position where you're just like, damn, finally they got it. Like the scene where Coulson's on the ship with the Chronicoms with Sybil, and she's like, I got everybody where I want them, and she puts her hands in a little contraption and she unlocks it, and then he's like, oh, it's my time to smile now. She's like, oh yeah, why is that? And then May comes crashing out the ceiling saying the cavalry, and if you've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know May hates being called that, you know, and she drops out of there and whoops ass, and it was fantastic and it was beautiful. And my God, you know, the way May was finally able to step back, and now she's like she's an instructor, you know. What's the kid's Flint's alive. Flint is alive. If anybody remembers the season where they dealt with all the Inhumans, when you find out about Daisy being an Inhuman, and there's a young black kid by the name of Flint, he can control rocks and stuff. He's alive. And he was one of her students, and Mac is now the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, he's wearing the classic. He looks like Fury sans patch.
Damn,
you know,
sure look like Fury.
Yeah, you know, even taller. You know, I still want a shotgun axe. I think I'm a cosplay as Mac one year. You know, seeing Coulson finally get Lola back, and not only get her back, but get it upgraded, and it flies, and it looked sweet as hell. You know,
Damn,
Fitz and Simmons, they have a daughter who's like, what, 8? So it was somewhere around there, because they were literally dealing with time. So they had all the time in the world, and they were gone, which would have been for us just a few moments, but for them, they were gone for like 8-9 years, you know, and just so much. Deke is a director of of S.H.I.E.L.D. back in '83, and I swear I seen their reading on YouTube.
Oh yeah, the table
reading.
Yeah,
the table reading. It was funny because he had a great pitch about there should have been a little after credit scene where, you know, you see what happened to everybody else, but now you get to see what happened to Deke in 1983, where he's sitting in a chair and one of the agents come in and they say, Director Shaw, and he turns around, he's got an eye patch on, you know, like Nick Fury. But then another agent comes in and the eye patch is switched, so that like nobody never knows which eye is which. And it was a great pitch. I was like, oh, I wish they would have shot that scene, but they didn't. So we got what we got, you know. He got what he wanted, you know, and you know, like he said, you know, he'll see his grandparents once again, you know, later on in the future. But yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a great 7-year run. It was good to see them end it on a high note, so to speak. You know, they got to tell their story. They got to change, and you do not get to see that a lot in any show that says, okay, this is going to be it for us. You know, you don't get that finish off. You know, you didn't get it with Angel. You oh God, you didn't get it with Buffy, really. You didn't get it with a lot of these other Firefly. Good Lord,
definitely didn't get it with Buffy the Vampire shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you get so many of these shows who get canceled, and you never get a chance to finish out the story.
Wayans brothers, we still don't know.
So I got a question, Chris. I wasn't a big fan of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I didn't get to see too much of it. Can you just give me a little synopsis of what it's about?
Okay, so basically, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. picks up where Agent Coulson leaves from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you remember in the beginning, he was always showing up in Iron Man, and I think he showed up in the beginning of Thor. And
he was in Thor.
Yeah, they didn't even call it S.H.I.E.L.D. then. They used the long acronym, which was the Strategic Homeland Enforcement Intelligence Logistic Division. I can't believe
it.
Yes, I do remember that.
so they called it the S.H.I.E.L.D.
So they called it
S.H.I.E.L.D.
They called it
S.H.I.E.L.D., but they didn't have an acronym.
Right. So, you know, and then it left, you know, he actually dies in the first Avengers film by Loki's hands. But they bring him back. Nick Fury actually brings him back, and it begins that storyline of him building his own team of agents over the past couple of years. And he's even joked about it in the last episode where Coulson has died a couple of times since then. He's like died about 6 or 7 times.
A couple.
You know? Yeah.
It's an understatement. My guy died more than he's had more death rumors than Tupac. Like my man came back from the dead.
Hey, DC always gotta have a good pun, don't
he?
Buddy has died a lot of times.
I mean, but
He's died a lot.
And he said it, and he literally, I mean, he made several jokes about it this past season that, you know, that was his superpower, that he can die and come back. You know, like he's not immortal, it's just somehow he comes back, you know, because people love, he was the linchpin.
He like Professor Wells and The Flash.
Yeah, exactly. Like somehow they keep bringing him back in one form or another.
They find a way to bring him back. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. we're gonna miss you. I probably will rewatch that season because it was a killer season. Especially when you're dealing with time, that can get confusing as hell. So, you know, there was that. Lovecraft Country. I don't know if any one of you guys seen this shit, man.
I've seen parts of it last night, actually, on HBO. It looks good.
Y'all giving me all these shows to watch. So.
This is primo. HBO has managed to do something that I don't see a lot of cable networks really trying to corner. They did it with Watchmen, which is a great show, and they touch on. In Watchmen, they touch on the, you know, Black Wall Street Massacre, which, to my surprise, there were a lot of Black older people who didn't even know this happened. You know, I had known about it for 10, 12 years, maybe.
Yeah, but you're talking about Black Wall Street, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so, and now here in Lovecraft Country, you know, here you have another story that takes place in the 1900s, and it starts in Chicago, but then it ends up going down south. And it's about a gentleman. It's based on a novel, which I've never read. But this gentleman, he's from the army. He just got out the Korean War, Black guy. He goes to Chicago because he gets a letter from his father who he hadn't heard from in years. And it's weird to him. The letter, you know, the note is weird to him. So he brings it to his uncle. His uncle decides, like, okay, we need to go to Ardham, which is down south somewhere. I think it was Tennessee or something. So they make the road trip with with the gentleman's friend, and you find out about sundown towns, you know, and which is, if you were Black and you was in a town.
I was just about to say, explain this to him.
Yeah, if you do not know what a sundown town, I'm gonna break this down right now. If you were in a town that is obviously prejudiced, predominantly white, or not even predominantly, all white, and you were in that town after sundown, that's your ass. They gonna come out and kill you outright. They gonna hang you. They gonna lynch you. Yeah. and they show, there's a scene in there where Journey. I'm gonna say her name right because she did something in this first episode that I'm going to advise every Black person and every white girl in any horror movie to do from now on. So I'm gonna give her name some justice. I'm gonna put respect on her name. Journey Smollett.
Oh,
Journey Smollett.
Is she one of the Smollett sisters?
Not to be accused with Juicy Smouye, that's his sister.
That's his sister. But,
that's his sister.
But we about
okay, Chris. So I've seen it. I've seen the intro for this on Prime.
Okay.
A few days ago. And I was like, you know, because I like her as an actress. She's really good at everything. Really good. Everything she's done. Jesse Smollett. You put a bad file on their name, but the Smollett family, they do really good work.
They do. They've been around for
a while. Even Jesse, they do really good work. They're really good actors and actresses. I'd seen the intro for this, and I was like, you know, I want to watch it. I'm gonna check it out tonight. There's a
scene, and I'll probably play that scene in the React show after the show. But there's a scene where they're trapped in the cabin. It's her friend, his uncle, and her, and they're getting traced by some creature that's in the woods.
Can't find them.
And they're stuck in the cabin, with the prejudiced sheriff who just got bit and one of his deputies. And he's like, we need to get to the car. And she was like, the first thing he was like, I'll go. And the sheriff was like, no, because I don't trust this nigga. He too smart. She was like, make her go. And she looks at her friend. She's like, that's all right. I was a track star in high school. I can make it to the car. I have never seen anybody sprint and run that hard in any horror movie and still make it to the car. She didn't trip. She didn't break her ankle. She didn't say, "Oh, help me." She took the fuck off running.
Oh, she didn't do the normal white girl fall.
Oh, hell no, hell
Where
no.
he's like 20.
When
Yeah,
he opened that door and she was bam, she was gone.
Can we sidebar real quick? Why in every horror film do that white girl fall like that?
Now you see why.
You know why? She got fragile ankles.
Like they got Steph Curry ankles. It don't make no sense.
Curry ankles.
They be running that hard, and you be like, "Oh my god!"
Hey Chris, the pizza man is a little lost. I'm gonna grab him real quick.
But yeah, it was something that I've never seen before, and I want to see more of. And she did it twice in that episode.
Ooh, now
she did it.
That's heavy when you
because when they made it, because in earlier in that episode they had made it to this town. They didn't know it was sundown town. They made it to this town. They went in the diner, and the white man that was sitting in the diner, he looked at them all disgusted, walked out, and the little white boy that was working behind the counter, you know, he was looking all confused and stuff, and he was like, well, and you know, the family was like, well, we'll just seat ourselves. So they did, and they was asking for some coffee, and the girl, Journey, she went to go to the bathroom. Well, while she in the bathroom, the white boy in the back room, and he calling whomever. It was some white boys with some guns. He was just like, hey,
good old boy,
yeah. And next you know, she come running out of here, literally out her mouth. We need to get the fuck out of here right now. And she was running.
That's the moment where you know black people run, don't nobody else ask questions. Exactly. They just take the fuck off too.
Like, so remember people. Just D.L. Hughley said it too. He said, if you see black people running, you run too. So
you ask when you get to a safe destination, why were we running?
Yeah, and it was so crazy. It was, but I've watched this episode. It's the premiere episode. I've watched it 3 times already because it's just that good. It's really that good. And you know, like I was saying, I think HBO has managed to find a niche. You know, where they once had Game of Thrones, and now they're getting this whole nother following. And I think there's a lot more black people who are being exposed to certain parts of the history that they really did not know, because it really shocked me. Like I said, with Watchmen, it really shocked me at how many older black people didn't know about the Black Wall Street massacre. I was like, what, you didn't? I'm like 30, 40 years younger than you are. You didn't know? You know, and that stuns me, you know, but once again, here it is. You have a platform that's allowing people to be exposed to it. And they said even after that episode of Watchmen, there was a lot of people who were like, that actually happened, white and black. They were like, that actually happened. They said it was an uptick on the internet of people searching for Black Wall Street. And they were like, wow, that actually went down. I can't believe that went down. And now here you have another show, and they're talking about the sundown towns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I had an inkling of it. I didn't know that's what it was called, but I had an inkling of that type of stuff. And now here you are having something else go on, and it's a nice balance of something that happened in the 1900s and a nice balance where racism is still prevalent. But
I was about to say, I mean, there's still some sundown towns to this day.
You know, they talked about, I think it was Palmdale, California. You know, like you would never think that.
I mean, there's some here in Ohio.
Yeah,
I mean, Alliance. I had a friend in Alliance, and my wife was like, "You gonna go there after dark?" I'm like, "It can't be that bad." I go there for work. She's like, "You're in a work truck."
Yeah,
you a black man going in a nice Buick, tinted windows after dark. No,
it's a whole nother problem.
I'm like, okay, I know Cuyahoga Falls. We called it Caucasian Falls.
Yeah,
you don't want to be on Cuyahoga Falls at dark.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever been in Cuyahoga Falls after dark. And I'm
from Akron. It ain't pretty. I mean,
I've heard plenty of stories, but I'm like, hell, I ain't never been in there after dark. I stayed in Akron. So
some pockets, like right across that bridge, because my grandma and them stay on North Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Once you cross that bridge right over into the falls,
it's a whole nother story.
A whole nother. You think you in a whole different town.
Yeah. It's. But I'm loving Lovecraft Country.
I'm gonna check it out some more.
Yeah, new episode comes out tomorrow on HBO. and that's intense. So we did Agent Seal, we did Lovecraft Country, and next week we get the release finally of the New Mutants. Finally. Now, people out there, you can say what you will, but if you've been paying attention to any of the trailers that they've been releasing, this looks like the Hail Mary that could have been for Fox Studios, for 20th Century Fox. Because I'm like, this isn't even, I hope they didn't show us all the stuff from the movie, because the stuff I've been seeing, man, it looks good. Maybe it was best they had all those reshoots and those delays. The latest trailer that came out yesterday showed Ilyana Rasputin, or known as Magic. Now, if you're a comic book nerd like myself, you know that's Colossus' sister. And they show her transform because she has like this metal glaive on her arm, and then she has a sword, magic sword. Well, they show her transform into her armored form. She's not fully armored like her brother. It's just that arm. And I'm like, yeah, if you didn't know that was his sister, you should know now, because you see how that works. And she had somebody very familiar perched on her shoulder, and you see him for a few seconds. His name is Lockheed the Dragon. And if you know who Lockheed is out there, you'll know that was Kitty Pryde, aka Shadowcat. And that was the dragon she always had perched on her shoulder, was Lockheed. But yeah, I might venture out next weekend and not sans mask, of course.
I was gonna say, make sure you got that mask on.
Yeah, not sans mask. I'm not an idiot.
Hey, the theater's open this weekend, right?
They're open.
Yeah, they're open.
Oh, they're open. You did say that
because
earlier, DC.
We were supposed to go to see Bloodshot.
Okay.
But they had already showed it on TV, so it was kind of like it's not,
at this point, you only go to the movie theaters
for something new.
At least for something, for something new. I mean, like Cinemark is showing stuff. They're showing like Raiders of the Lost Ark and Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to work with some nostalgia, that's cool. I mean, like you put some good stuff out there. That's great. And it's cheap. It's not. Right. They're not going to charge you regular ticket prices. It's going to be cheap. So.
I know you were excited about that, Chris. I know you've been talking about that.
Oh yeah. I just told
back into the movie theaters.
Oh yeah, this is my niche, and like I just told him, I'm like, New Mutants comes out finally next week.
Man, and I'm excited for the New Mutants. This is why I'm excited for the New Mutants. I was not happy with the last Mutants.
I can agree.
I think this is a chance for them to redeem themselves. It's a lot riding on this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's not just, a childhood memory for me. This is like, was my childhood. I remember watching the action live movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With the first,
it holds a lot of.
It holds a lot of weight. So to see these 6 foot live characters, and they doing their thing, I like it. First of all, it's not that I don't like it. I just don't like the storylines.
Yeah,
that they've been pushing with the Turtles lately.
Yeah,
you gotta have.
And you know what? And to be honest with you, they didn't strike me as teenagers.
Strike you as grown ass man.
Yeah, more like, oh, these guys about 18, 19.
Actually,
35.
They kind of made them more monsters for me. They kind of fucking scared me a little bit.
They dehumanized them.
Yeah, they really humanized them. They really did. And I think that's something that the creator, that I know for sure that he was not looking forward to doing.
I don't think Kevin Eastman was too proud of that.
Yeah, he's not one of them people. When he made the Turtles, this is something I've been watching for a while. When he made them to be different. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that you have to stick to with that type of. It's like the Power Rangers. Yeah. You see what happened when they did all the Power Rangers?
My God.
And they tried.
You see what happened when Disney got Power Rangers. You see what happened when these different companies work with Power Rangers other than the person that's supposed to do it. And you see how it turned out. That's what I'm thinking about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You got to stick to what you know so you can have a little bit of originality to it.
Yeah. I think this is why I think this is why the animations versions of the TMT
way better
are way better. And no matter how many times they've rehashed it, you're just like
I like the last two they did with Nickelodeon.
Yeah, even the one they have out now, which is what, Rise? Yeah, it's Rise. And the dynamics a little different because now they make Raph the leader. He's like the older brother. You know, and it's just like, oh, he's gruff enough. I'll deal with that. You know, and but I've seen some stuff and I'm like, damn, it's good. It's good. It's like it's
good.
Really,
it's like
if anything, some of the fight scenes are maybe even better.
So Chris, this is what I compared it to. A few weeks ago, I was sitting down, I was talking to a friend, and we was talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I compared it to when they made Alvin and the Chipmunks the live ones.
Mm-hmm.
They had the first 1, 2, and 3. Then they had that Squeakquel.
Yeah.
Which was not that good.
I don't think I never watched that one.
When they came out with the cartoon for Nickelodeon, when the cartoon came out for Nickelodeon, it was great. Mm-hmm. It was great because they looked like they went back to the people that made it and said, "Hey, what are you looking for these chipmunks?
Let's modernize them, but let's not
change them.
Let's not change them. You know, I think the Teenage Ninja Turtles need to go back to the basics.
Go back to basics. See, that's why Seth Rogen has been, which is weird to say that name, but Seth Rogen is attached to help produce the next CGI, like not CGI, not like the live action, but CGI like it was for the one that was labeled TMNT. You know.
Oh yeah, cartoon.
So it's more, it's like it's gonna be like that one. So, we're gonna pause for a commercial break, and when we return, we're gonna come back for DC's favorite segment on this day in pop culture history. So we'll return right after this message. And we are back. We have a new segment, Courtney. I don't know if you've heard it. It's called On This Day in Pop Culture History.
On this day in pop culture history.
Oh, yeah. All right, so do you know what happened on this day in pop culture history?
Nope, but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
All right, so on August 22nd, absolutely nothing, actually.
August is a pretty dry month.
Yeah, but I will say on August 23rd, the release of our favorite game on Super Nintendo, GoldenEye was released.
Oh, hey man,
I'm
about to take a drink for GoldenEye. As a little brother, I'm gonna tell you this.
OG classic.
As a little brother, playing GoldenEye with my big brother, he was a fucking mastermind. When he get the golden gun, it's a wrap. There's nothing you can do with him. He was just. That's when I knew my brother was really good at games and just different. He was just different because once he get eye job and the golden gun, I don't think it's too many people that can beat him. You move around the submarine really well.
Yeah, we were used to getting to God mode, but see, if you put yourself on God mode, you couldn't really pass a certain level because you had everything.
Right.
So it was hard for you to. You was like, I'm going to get unlimited everything, all the weapons, and then but you can't pass the level because
you already
got it. You know?
Yeah, you already got what they try to give you.
So
yeah, that's a great game.
Yeah, but GoldenEye, it was released actually on August 23rd. Wow, quite a few years ago actually. So big ups to GoldenEye.
The game that started it all.
The game that started it all. You know, James Bond games were actually kind of fun.
Kinda, man. Let me tell you.
They laid the groundwork.
When you get 4 people in the same room,
oh my
y'all
God,
all playing that game.
Hey.
And we was at the age where we could kind of really drink, so we was drinking, playing GoldenEye. You talking about going outside? Fuck going outside. That we
game
used to have
that rocks your whole day.
Other people waiting. Loser got to get off.
Hey man, it's two games in my house that would cause fights. It's an actual fighting game, no mercy. No mercy in that bitch. It's a wrap. It's gonna cause confusion in my house. But when you play GoldenEye, it wasn't nothing worse for me than getting shot 500 times. And then I didn't have nobody to pass the controller to DC, so my brother just practicing on me. You get what I'm saying? My brother used to get to the point where
you about to take this ass whooping.
Yeah, you just gonna take this all day.
But see, that's how you become a man.
You become really good after that.
Yeah, because me and my son play duty now.
Yeah,
and I don't take it easy on him.
Speaking of which, Call of Duty gets a new trailer next week.
Ooh,
can't wait. August 26th.
The trailer they released this week was not much. It was not a gameplay trailer. We get a gameplay trailer next week. So August 26th. Look out for that.
Cold War.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all before we breeze past that. Do y'all think that Call of Duty has changed, has come back to their senses?
Yeah,
I think so. I think so.
After they ran those couple
Halo
gamers,
Yeah.
Halo. After they ran the Halo edition.
after they ran the 2 Halo editions, yeah, I think
that trash.
they have
I
got
agree.
back to
I
Super
agree.
jump and run off walls. Yeah. See, the Call of Duty I love and everybody love is those hardcore
like
shooting.
War that War.
That's
that war.
it.
That
Actual war ones.
futuristic electric guns and running off walls and jetpack stuff.
No,
That ain't it.
that's
That ain't
not.
what got y'all to be in a top rated
You
game.
can literally make up a war for Call of Duty, and as long as it's not like you said, like the futuristic Halo type garbage.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, Halo's not really garbage, but Halo is its own beast.
But Halo came out as that futuristic game.
Yeah.
Call of Duty came out as the war game.
Yeah.
Call of Duty came out as our war
When
game.
you literally can go and play World War One.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That
war.
type of stuff, right?
Like war
An
at
actual
war. You know what I'm saying? Modern Warfare. You know, those type of games
The
were
Black
different.
Ops.
Black Ops was fun.
But once they came out with like Black Ops 1 and 2, they thought they had to go futuristic.
That's
And I
like
don't
Rainbow
think that was
Filter.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, that was another one.
Rainbow
Man.
Siege is really good though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rainbow Siege is really good. I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all played that.
I
It was
played it.
redemption. It's the redemption of what they created. They knew
Right.
that they fucked up, and then they came back and said, "You know what? Here's one for the people that have been playing with us for a long time."
Right.
And I feel
Speaking
like
of
that's
a-
what Call of Duty has to get back to. Just get
Speaking
back
of a
to-
fuck up that I know we're gonna get to later on in the review, which would be Madden 21.
Oh, God.
Oh
wait,
man.
if y'all can be patient, y'all can hear me give them the golden donkey of the day.
Oh, God damn. Not the donkey.
Yeah.
the
Shout out to
donkey.
Charlamagne for that. 'Cause he getting it.
Well, speaking of soldiers in Call of Duty, are you familiar who Jensen Ackles is, Courtney?
Yes.
I am not.
You've heard of Supernatural though, right?
Oh yeah, yes, I
Okay.
have.
He's the older brother. He's Dean Winchester. He has actually been tapped to play Soldier Boy in season 3 of The Boys, which season 2 hasn't even premiered yet. So as their tagline puts it for Amazon Prime, they say season 3 has been approved, has been greenlit. Just don't ask us when. So
Sooner or later, you motherfuckers gonna get it.
yeah, we're gonna get it eventually.
I might push this motherfucker out. It don't matter. I'm gonna try.
Just know
we're getting it. It's just we
it's
don't
in the
know
chamber.
when we're getting it. Right. This week Hulu dropped a hell of a gem. They dropped the original Thundercats along with the 2011 reboot version. And I gotta say, I've been watching them back to back. Like
I ain't gonna lie to you. The reboot version, we talked about this a few weeks ago with DC.
Yeah,
He was with me.
the reboot version's fun. It's
I don't know.
It's not because I think it's more anime style.
We talking?
Yeah.
Okay, the anime one.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the one that they put on.
Oh no, not Thundercats Roar. No.
Yeah,
no,
that
no,
trash.
No, not that one. No.
You want to talk about that one?
No.
Talk about amnesia.
We gonna
Right.
sweep
You try to forget that immediately, right, DC?
Sweep
Oh,
that one
me-
under the rug.
As soon as I seen the first 2 seconds, I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
It's-
I'm like, this ain't Adventure Time. What the hell?
Dog,
right.
That was like Teen Titans Go.
Right. Here you mentioned Teen Titans, so I'm gonna swing over to DC for a minute.
Hey,
Here's
let
some
me
great
tell you.
news. If you thought the big news for the new Flash film that they have coming out,
Wait.
having Michael
New
Keaton.
Flash film.
Oh yeah. You
Oh
didn't know?
yeah, you didn't know?
Yeah,
Wait a minute,
they're doing the Flashpoint. They're doing the Flashpoint.
What do you mean they're doing a Flashpoint?
They're
Yeah.
taking Ezra Miller
Chris.
and they're doing the Flashpoint. They gave him a new
The dude
suit.
from the Flash?
Not the movie from the
Justice
Justice League movie.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
even better. I'll take him.
Yeah, and if you thought the news that Michael Keaton was coming back was big enough, Ben Affleck is coming back as well.
Oh man.
This just solidified that this is officially a Flashpoint film.
It is.
Yep.
Because now we get
Definitely.
2 Batman in one movie.
Hey,
So-
this is about to be great.
DC might be on the edge of creating something major.
I feel like DC has been in a different category for a while now.
Yeah, they didn't know
it's
how. It was a marketing issue.
Yeah.
Number one. You know,
Yep, I agree with you.
They were trying to play catch up, and they couldn't. I think right now, especially since they didn't, since San Diego Comic-Con, the virtual thing they did, it wasn't so much a bust, but it was just so much content that DC might have been drowned out. Well, they went to their DC Universe app, which I thought the nail was in the coffin for these guys, and it still might be, but their DC fandom, which has been going on all day today, they've just been dropping gems left and right. That was one of them. The other one was the Wonder Woman 84 trailer, which that looks great. That just looks good. I was antsy for it to come out this summer, just waiting for it. But they dropped that. That looks good. Then they dropped Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder cut of the Justice League film. And all I can say is we were robbed of what we got released in the movie theaters a couple years ago. We were absolutely robbed. From what I've seen in this trailer, I'm like, damn it, we should have had that.
Let me ask you now, Chris. It ain't motherfucking like when Tyrese tried to get into Django, is it?
No.
We didn't miss out on nothing like that.
No. Okay. We get.
Could you imagine that, Dale?
No,
what more do you want from me? I'm a freed slave.
Jamie Foxx would have shot him on
Hey,
GP.
man, I don't know if y'all seen the audition tape for that, Chris. I don't mean to interrupt your show, but you got to check that out. Check that out.
The React video.
That's gonna be a React video. But yeah, the trailer for the Snyder cut, it's dark. It's what it should have been. They showed everything. They showed Cyborg at the football game because when this movie was first being marketed, they would show Victor Stone at the football game, because he was a football player, and they showed what happened that night and how he became to be, and they showed Iris West. They showed Barry Allen saving Iris West in one scene. They showed that in the trailer. We get all that back. We get Darkseid in the trailer. We get a better looking Steppenwolf.
Yeah, because that Goldar looking dude from Power Rangers, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's so much better. I'm just like,
you call him Goldar?
He looked like Goldar. Power Rangers.
He wasn't as dumb.
Face,
he wasn't as dumb either.
Gold. He was Silverdar. That's what he was. He's like a grayscale Goldar.
But it's
the Power Rangers.
Yeah, from what I've seen from this trailer, man. All I can say is y'all wasted all that time when you should have just let Zack Snyder finish the vision. That's just it.
They rushed.
They rushed.
He had to leave. They was like, we got to get this film finished because they were, again, like you said, trying to keep up with the Joneses, who happened to be Marvel.
That's it, and it never worked.
We've told this story before. After Superman Returns, which was at least 3 or 4 years before Marvel really started Iron Man, they were supposed to have the Justice League come out. They already had Common as Green Lantern. You had Brandon Routh as Superman. Batman, I think, was still supposed to be Christian Bale, or they were going to go a different direction. But I mean, this movie was already on tap, and Superman Returns failed. And they panicked like hell and scrapped all of it.
It's hard. It's hard when your big brother in the house, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Marvel movies, Marvel is kicking their ass.
I mean, Marvel is an upper echelon type of movie.
And look who's bagging them.
Come on.
You can't fault the mouse. The mouse.
No, it's not.
That's long money.
It's not even that. What I'm saying is DC, playing a catch-up game was not what they should have been doing.
No. But I've always said they should have played their own game. If not, use the same formula that Marvel was using. They decided to go a different direction, and it crumbled right underneath them.
But that's the problem. They had the formula first, and when they saw Superman Returns fail, they decided to scrap it. Marvel found it in a different light and used it. Like DC had that chance. They had the opportunity to get to the story first. They had the universe being built. Yeah. But they panicked.
I think no matter of fact, I remember it was like Armie Hammer
Yeah, that's who's supposed to be Batman.
It was Arnie Hammer, and they had him on the set. They it's a set photo with him all in costume. And yeah, and for those who don't know, Arnie Hammer actually played the Lone Ranger in the some Gorinsky version with the latest version,
Johnny
which
Depp?
it's not a bad movie. It's actually fun, a little long, but it's fun.
Is that the new what you said that was, Chris?
The Lone Ranger
With Johnny Depp as Tonto.
It wasn't bad because there was some nice. The train scene is fun.
Johnny Depp just always. I can't get past the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I can't beg
Johnny Depp is a character actor. He's actually not bad as a character actor because that means you can give him just about anything and he'll work with it. But
I don't know. I'm agree to disagree with you on Johnny Depp.
I'm gonna give you that one.
I'm gonna give you that one. But
Johnny Depp, if you want to come on the show, come on, man. You know, we'll let you
Johnny,
on.
come on, man. We ain't hesitate now.
Because after Edward Scissorhands, I was just Johnny Depped out, and now I know that was a long time ago.
Johnny Depp just
he does dark well.
To me, he fits in this one box.
Dark.
Maybe I'm wrong, but he just fit into this.
Because you figure, even though he may fit into a box, you can't deny that he embraces
the roles. I'm not saying.
Oh, he embodies a role.
He's embodies the roles.
I mean, when I looked at Jack Sparrow, all I seen was Keith Richards, and lo and behold, like later on within the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, who's his father? Keith Richards. You know, so it was like, well, damn. Okay, it makes sense. You know,
he's a good method actor.
Yeah, he's a really good method actor.
I'll give you that, Chris. Yeah. What I'm saying about Johnny Depp is I see him as this one person, and it's hard. It's like when you see Mike Epps as Day.
Yeah, and it's stuck. I think Johnny Depp he's probably like the Lon Chaney of acting now.
I said the Pirates of the Caribbean just stuck to him so well that it's just something that I look forward from Johnny Depp. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, in other news from DC, they dropped Gotham Knights, the trailer video game. Damn.
When I say, I thought it was going to be Suicide Squad first if they dropped. I did not see this game coming at all. And as somebody who played the Arkham Knight series and who loved that free roam, I get to be Batman and beat people up and do what I want with free will.
Open world.
Yeah, those type of crime fighter, superhero games are amazing. They tried it with Superman Returns, that video game. Ooh, Lord, that was hot garbage. Even the Spider-Man is not as free roaming as Batman, but it was still good because you can do. Because as a kid, you grow up wanting to be those superheroes. Yeah. And when you get to play those games to where I can free roam as Batman and just drop out of the shadows and beat the crap out of a bad guy.
Hey, wasn't that the one you had that room that he was in? He was fighting all them dudes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the first game with some crispy ass combos. The fighting on there is amazing.
That was you talking about the very first Batman.
Yeah, the very first
shit is amazing.
That look when I had ran my thumbs raw playing that game, and then there's a scene where you gotta. It's like a gauntlet. It's like a gauntlet of thugs before you go see Joker. And I seen him, and I'm like, I can wait till tomorrow to play this scene because like I had just fought through some stuff, and I'm like, it was about 20 of them, 20 or 30 guys all in a line, and they're just cheering me on, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't ready to do this battle right now. And when I went to it the next day, I gingerly walked down the line because I was waiting for one of them to jump on me.
Out, yeah.
But it's not until you go to the door and you hit a button or something that Joker locks the door, and then they turn on you.
And they get the cracking.
Hey, that's when I learned that Batman was a badass.
Yeah,
that game
that game shaped me for Batman because I'm a big Superman fan.
I got the tattoo.
The Man of Steel is my guy.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Ain't nobody better than the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
That shit just go. It's nobody better than him. But Batman showed me that he will whoop your ass.
That's it.
And that's the thing about that game, though. The gameplay was raw. The buttons were easiest, to use. But the free roam, I can drop out of the sky and beat the shit out of two thugs who ain't doing nothing, ain't bothered. And that was the thing about Batman that I love. Even in the movies, the comics, the video game, he just did what he want. And that was the thing about this game because you could
That's because of his white privilege.
That was one of his superpowers.
His white privilege. Hey,
He didn't
speaking
have
of Batman,
superpowers.
it just dropped the Batman official trailer just dropped on
Yeah.
DC Fandom, so I'll have to check that out after the show. But yeah, it reacts. I'm getting so many freaking reacts, man. But yeah, Gotham Knights has that same exact gameplay, but here's the difference: you're not Batman this time because he's presumed dead.
No, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, he's dead.
So he's using his white privilege again.
Yeah. He collapsed the Batcave and everything, and all you hear from the news reports is that Batman is, and it cuts out. So he leaves like this message for Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood.
Ooh, and
you can play all four. And here's the plus side: you can do co-op. So it's a 2-player co-op. So you can go as one, nice. Or you can go as solo, or you can go as a duo. And I'm like, and it's the same gameplay. Damn. Oh God.
Many nights will I be kicking ass.
Yeah.
As Nightwing. I'm calling Nightwing.
Hey, you know, with Batman games, you gotta wait to really time when the bat will strike.
Oh yeah.
Real late night.
Ain't nothing like just sitting up there perched up in the daggone rafters, timing your drop.
Oh, and that's what I mean about that free roam. Because I did one time, I did the coldest drop on somebody ever. It was one of them gargoyles, like off the movie. Yeah. I sat on one of them gargoyles, the little dude, it was two little thugs walked by. I dropped down, picked one up, and tied his ass up to the gargoyle. I dropped down on the other one, surprised the shit out of him, hit him with one of them good bat uppercuts, and just wailed his ass.
My favorite thing about that was the weapons that Batman had.
Yeah.
He had the best weapons.
My wife used to get mad because I was sitting up in the bedroom and I'm fighting Mr. Freeze, and I'm like I'm watching him, but I had to use my thermals because I was hiding under the floor, and I'm like I can't hit this dude straight on. You got to attack him from the back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to wait while he was walking around. Every time my wife walked in the bedroom, I'm like, look, honey, I got to finish this role right now. I got to do this.
And that's another thing about Batman. It was strategy to it. It wasn't one of
the
games.
It was so fucking long. The game was
long.
Yeah.
It was.
You couldn't just sit down and block off an hour and be like, yeah, I'm just going to play this for an hour and that's it.
Right, because you get past one level.
You can play for an hour if you want to. You find yourself like, I'm going to put in this other hour because, see, now I'm in the middle of something else.
Exactly.
So, but see, now people out there that's listening, if you haven't noticed, we are talking about video games. This is our game and television and film review show, and we are strictly, at this point, reviewing games. So we have our guest, Courtney Duncan from What the Shit Podcast. Tell me, Courtney, what got you started in video games?
What got me started in video games, I used to be a big fan of model cars.
Mm-hmm.
So I started playing LA Rush on 64.
Yeah.
And that just sprung me into everything else. I started playing games like Need for Speed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a big car game. Forza, Need for Speed, Crazy Taxi. Taxi, games like that. Games, yeah. My girlfriend just said that. My fiance just said that. But Crazy Taxi is one of those games on Dreamcast that got me into playing.
That was such an underrated system.
Oh man, Dreamcast, Kobe Courtside. I can go on for days on the games that was on there.
That were underrated.
2K football started on
Sonic,
Dreamcast.
X-Men.
It's a lot. So Chris, I've been into like the video game world. My brother used to hand me the games down, of course. You know, anything he had, I had 64. I had an Atari. So I played a lot of little games, a lot of different games that kind of motivated me. But the car games are what got me into like different games like Driver, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, just different. It takes different avenues for you to get there, but you end up finding your way in the game industry. Like I played a lot of games.
So you say LA Rush was your first game?
LA Rush was probably one of the first games that I played. I was like, this is sick.
I remember. Look, Me and my brother, we were playing the original GTA on the first PlayStation
with the high camera.
Yes, with
A lot
the
of people don't
bird's
know
eye
about
view.
With the real bird's eye view.
Yeah.
It is and it's
and you
different.
raise all types of hell. Then you can roll into the paint shop once you locate it where the paint shop was.
Always when I talk about mass killing games, because that's what Grand Theft Auto is. I think about State of Emergency. Do a lot of people don't remember State of Emergency?
Yeah,
it was a State of Emergency 1, and it was a State of Emergency 2.
Mm-hmm.
2 was where you go into the mall and you start shooting all the people that you can find.
Yeah.
And have you played that before, Chris?
Yes.
I remember it. I just didn't play it.
My mom, when she found out that's what I was in there playing, she could have broke the PlayStation. I'm telling y'all. Listen, I play. To me, State of Emergency set the trend for violent games.
It did.
State of Emergency was
for
different.
For that type.
For that type of games, that opened the door for Grand Theft Auto.
I would say
let me ask you a question.
For a lot of things.
Did it make you want to go out and kill people in real life?
No.
Okay, because there's that.
That's that huge debate.
Remember the airport scene in Call of Duty?
Mm-hmm.
When you go in that airport and the Russians start mowing people down. Oh, that caused mass murderers. I played that scene 1,000 times and never wanted to
go out and kill.
Like Army of Two. I never wanted to go out there.
Oh man, I love Army of Two. Hey, you know what, Chris? Another slept-on series.
Yeah,
Army of Two is one of the best co-op games.
Yes, it is.
Ever.
Yeah,
ever.
It is.
It's really good.
It was never if you tried to play it by yourself and have the computer play with you.
It's not the same. It's like Kane and Lynch. It's like Kane and Lynch.
Yeah.
You could not play Kane and Lynch without another person.
Good.
Bruh, when they yell, I think that's Army of Two when they yell back to back.
Yeah,
they all the different combos and shit like that. Those dudes are good.
I can only play it like that with my brother. I'm like, we gotta hit this because I played it without you and it ain't the same, and I can't get it right.
Kane and Lynch is not the same either without another person. You gotta have somebody. If you play Lynch, somebody gotta play Kane.
Right.
You can't have either or.
What are you playing now?
I'm playing a variety. So on the sports side, I'm playing a little bit of 2K.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get into the My Player Point this year.
Okay.
I got into more of the My Team part of it. It was really, really good. You get to pick the cards. I know you pick the cards. You get your cards, and you get to trade them, all that stuff. So on the sports side, I'm playing Call of 2K, play Madden. On a first-person shooter, I'm playing Call of Duty, Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, like everybody else, Warzone is probably one of the best games.
It is.
Of the year. It came and wiped out so many games like PUBG.
Yeah.
Fortnite. It got rid of those games because it showed how what you can do on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
So I like what they did with that. Red Dead Redemption.
No, we talked about it in great length about that one.
Probably one of my favorite games that I'm playing right now. It is the most open world game I've played. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah.
Even though I played Grand Theft Auto, because I'm gonna say this on there.
There's nothing like riding the trail and then getting chased by a grizzly bear.
You know what I'm saying?
That you don't see right away.
The animals on there, the way they have the animals, and the way that the animals can
literally
interact with a person.
Yeah.
The way that you interact with the animals. Just different things. Skinning the animals.
Yeah.
Selling the fur. Doing all the processes that you have to do to survive.
Bounty hunting and
bounty hunting. They got the new thing with the alcohol.
Yeah.
That you actually can trade and do the alcohol thing. So I think they made a lot of great strides to make the game better, and it only can get better from now. That's what I'm playing now. I'm playing that, and I'm also playing a little bit of Skate. I think it's called Skate. I don't know if it's new or not, but I just got it recently. It's decent. It's not a Tony Hawk. That's what I was saying.
No. It's really hard to top a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game
because of the controls.
Yeah.
I don't know if Tony Hawk and them know their controls. They own the controls for that, but the way their controls are,
it's not the same.
It's not. It can never be that.
No,
you can never find yourself to be that strong.
What was your worst game?
Worst game I played recently?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Recently and just in general.
The worst game I've ever played. Freak. Oh, Chris, you gonna have me going out on a limb here. The worst game I've played was Madden.
Interesting.
Because it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
They
It's
changed
same
the
controls.
format.
No, not really. Only thing that changed on Madden is the teams.
Rosters.
Yeah.
I've had to put Madden at the bottom, and for real, they have room to get better because there's not any other football games like them.
See, that's going to be another show we do, like EA Sports. You know,
yeah. I feel like EA Sports has a lane that they're not tapping into. They're the only football sports game. Really.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
They'll
Not
be only
anymore.
simulation.
Yeah. So I think Madden is the worst I've played recently.
Okay.
But overall, the worst game I've ever played. Ooh, Chris, I'm gonna go to PlayStation 2.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to PlayStation 2. I'm gonna go to one of those driving games that came out. I'm gonna go with Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's trash.
Yeah.
I love cars. So when it comes to cars, you have to come correct. To me, Midnight Club when they linked with Dub Edition.
Yeah.
Oh,
they made those games. They set themselves in a different standard of car games. You were able to customize at a high level. You were able to do different things at a high level. And then you came out with a Need for Speed Most Wanted, and it was nothing that we wanted. It wasn't a good car game. They haven't had a good car game since Midnight Club LA.
Man,
that's
crazy.
Just being real.
What about you, BC? Best and worst.
Which one?
Best and worst.
Best. The Avengers.
Ooh.
Give us, you know what? Before we go on, you played the beta, so before we go on,
I've played the beta.
Give us the review on the beta version. Let's do that.
So where do I begin? Okay, so the Avengers game is set. I'm not gonna say in the future, but it's set. Sometime after everything's going on, and they're opening up a branch out in San Francisco. So it starts out called A-Day, Avengers Day. So they're setting up this new branch. They got a new carrier with this new power, it's called the Chimera, and it has a fusion reactor, and they're trying to get it launched and do all this stuff. Well, Taskmaster comes along, who you find out later on. I don't want to really spoil it for people, but you find out later on Taskmaster is working with a group, and they're trying to set the Avengers up and make it look like, they set up this whole big thing. So you go through that. Some things happen. But in this, you get Kamala Khan, who is trying to bring the Avengers back together. And the gameplay of this game, it's in the same vein of kind of the Arkham Knight, where it's combos and, it's not really a free roaming game, so to say. You do have kind of one set mission once you do something. And I've only played the campaign a little bit, but they have what they call the war table. So this war table is you do these little side missions, co-op, you and 4 other players. It's up to 4 players, and you get to be Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, and Kamala Khan during the beta. So you have this one mission, but then they have little side missions branched off in this same mission. So, but the gameplay is amazing. The visuals of this game is top. It looks like a movie. But the thing is, they don't use the same, and that's what a lot of people had as a gripe with this game is everybody knows, Tony Stark, Iron Man, they think Robert Downey Jr. They don't have those characters.
Which they're actually using the voice actors from the cartoons.
Yeah. But the models for the characters themselves, they kind of took a little bit more from the comic books, I guess. They wanted to be a standalone from Marvel. They wanted to, have their own take on it.
Yeah.
So it feels a little different, plays a little different. But this game is setting up to be GTA for superheroes.
Yes, this is very interesting.
And it's a very ambitious thing because they plan on dropping because they have different locations for the war room, and then they plan on dropping different kind of stories. So for campaign mode, you have a set story. It's not really set, but they have a story mode. And then they have what I call the co-op mode, and then they just have like a training. So during this story mode, you go through story mode, you play it, you build your characters. And that's another thing. The customization on these characters is amazing. I mean, like my Iron Man won't play like your Iron Man. You know what I mean?
See, that's good.
My Hawk is gonna be different than your Hawk. My Black Widow is like you can customize these characters to your style. So you're not just building.
DC, not to cut you off, but that's the problem I usually have with those type of games. Everybody out there running with the same character.
Same character. No, this is totally like my Hawk is my Hawk. Like I build him the way I want. I dress him the way I want. They have different skins, different moves. You know, you customize your characters the way you want. And going forward, what they plan on doing, and they've already announced, you know, like Hawkeye is the first downloadable character. But this Hawkeye don't look nothing like the Hawkeye from the movies. You know, but he kind of had that Ronin feel to him too because he has a sword and the bow.
Man, yeah.
So you got Spider-Man for PlayStation. They're already talking maybe Captain Marvel, Black Panther. But like I said, but these characters are going to come with their own story mode. So their own storyline.
So the delays they have for the game are well warranted at this point because it sounds like they wanted to get it just right. For the release. Most
of the delays were getting some of the bugs out, making sure like when this game launches, it launches ready. It launches like you can start out day one, no issues. Because like I said, they're dedicating servers to make this game like GTA. So they're building upon.
That's funny that you said that, DC, because I was going to say, I think that's the only thing that's holding Red Dead Redemption back.
Yeah.
They did not release it for the problems that they were going to have.
Yeah.
I think Grand Theft Auto being a big brand. First of all, I want to say shout out to Rockstar. They have set the standard for open world games.
Yes, they did.
When it comes to Grand Theft Auto, they have had the longest run of any games with this type of hype still. Grand Theft Auto is the one of the fewer games that you can get on right now, and it still has the same hype as when you started, Chris.
Oh yeah,
as when I started. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I want to give them a special shout out for setting the standard for open world games. With that being said, like
Rockstar, we're willing to beta try anything you got coming up.
Anything you want us to try.
Hit us up on Blurred's Eye View.
Especially that new Grand Theft Auto. We definitely would beta try that.
I'll try the
fuck out all year. But yeah, like I said, they set the standard for open world games, and what DC is saying is, nowadays you have to, when you create the game, to me, you have to think about that further. Let's create our own servers.
Yeah,
let's
and that's
different things. To make
I think it's what Fortnite has been doing. You know, I think it just shows that you have some depth, that you're constantly adding to it. Like I didn't even realize longevity and everything, because when you have show or games like DC Universe Online,
still going,
they're still adding patches and everything. You know, so you have that constant replayability. You're not bored with it. You know, you keep adding to something new. When Fortnite did that big thing, was it last year?
No,
they did that huge thing. I've watched people play this thing, and it was crazy because I'm like, this can't be the end of it. You know, like, and then as I was just like, oh, they crashed it. Everything blinked out. Next day, new patch. You know, they were like whole new game.
Yep. You know. Like I said, Grand Theft Auto. There you go again.
Yeah.
They just set the standard. I'm telling you, all these games, they gotta respect. They gotta respect Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Any game, even when you look at 2K. I know y'all saying how did Grand Theft Auto influence the walking around?
Yeah.
The open world in the playground. They're going to barbershops. They're going to the store. They wanted you to feel like, okay,
immersion.
No matter what game I'm on, I can immerse myself into it.
And that's where my worst game has kind of fallen off. Madden.
Ooh.
I mean, this is coming from a guy who has played Madden franchise.
I'm with you, bro.
I still play to this day. I'm on Madden 20 right now with a league I done been in. We're 6 seasons in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dedicated to, and I know some of the guys, they started playing the Madden 21. I refuse to. because they've done nothing to the franchise. It's been untouched for the last 10 years. Since they left the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, the last gen, it's been untouched. And for me, that's a problem because as a
Madden
person,
25 was the best one, the last one.
yeah,
The last good one. Was that the one with
360.
Marshawn Lynch?
That was the Adrian Peterson on the cover.
Hey,
that was
yeah,
that was
AP.
the
That's the
25th
last.
year edition.
That's the last one.
It's been untouched since then, and that was 05. So we're
I think
talking
I think what
There's
Madden
no-
need to do, just like DC is saying, that I think what they need to do is the same thing that 2K did. They revamp the game. They was competing with live for so long. You know what I'm saying? Then once they realized they didn't have to compete with live anymore,
They got
they
lazy.
set the standard for video games. In
Yeah.
basketball video games, you got to have all the retro teams.
Yeah.
You got to have the good guys. You got to have these people. You got to do this. You got to do that. Let's switch the jerseys. Let's change the soundtrack. Let's work with people that's going to do these different things to make our brand better. I just don't think Madden has done that in the last.
What they've done is they rested on their laurels. They got lazy. 2K went away. There's nothing. They cornered the market. They have an exclusive, and this is what pisses me off the most. You have an exclusive rights contract with the NFL to make a simulation football game. You have ESPN rights to use ESPN in your games, and you refuse to use them. And
Which
now,
is a big thing.
look at what 2K games when they were out, All Pro 2K8, the 2K ESPN 2K. The only reason ESPN lost their license is because they undercut the league. They said, "Fuck Madden, fuck the league. Our game is that good, we can sell it at $10 and outsell EA," and they did. And the NFL was pissed because the NFL wasn't getting paid like they is from EA. So they took the license, gave it exclusively to EA, and fucked everybody. Sorry, I'm passionate about Madden because this is one of them games that I've put. I mean, if we look at my log time on my game system, Madden has majority of my time.
And I feel just as slighted as DC do because I spend a lot of money with Madden. And not
For
only
him to,
is
for him
the
to go
name-
and get
no,
lazy for it, it's
no.
just like a slap in the face.
No, not even for him to get lazy. It's because the name that carries the game, John
Madden.
a man that wouldn't get lazy with calling no calls. So for y'all to be having this man's name on this video game and y'all not doing nothing different, and y'all not even seeing yourself as winners, that I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Here's another thing why I don't like where the direction EA is going. There's a documentary on YouTube by YouTuber I can't get his name out. It's called The Fall of EA, and it chronicles the beginning of EA. A guy, Trip Hawkins, who started EA because he loved sports. He wanted to make a simulation football game. It goes from that, which was back in the 80s, starting this game, him going to get Madden because he said, if I'm going to make the best football game, I want the best football name on this game.
Who else would you
John
get?
Madden.
Come on now.
So
Yeah.
it goes from that, and it goes from all this innovation that EA put into this game to now it has become microtransactions. It's a cash grab. You got MUT. You got now, and this was pissed me off even more. They took the time to make what they call the Yard this year. All it is an arcade backyard 6-on-6 football game because they're scared because now 2K is back in the market of making football games. They can't make simulation, but they can use real NFL teams. They can use real NFL players, but it can't be simulation. It has to be an arcade type game. So think NFL Blitz, NFL Streets, that type of game. So if they come out with this game mode, the Yard, they got all these customizations for your player, mouthpieces, arms, armbands, and all this crazy stuff. But you can't get that in a regular game mode. You can't use it you can't use it in franchise. So I can get mouthpieces on the Yard, but I ain't have mouthpieces in the game since 2012.
Yeah.
So it's just the way that they're going about it is a cash grab, and it pisses me off because they neglected.
It put a blemish on
people-
their name as well. It put a
Yeah.
blemish on everything that you've created because not only are y'all dumbing yourself down and we can see it, y'all not even putting yourself in the same rim of some of these games that create better business
No.
than y'all can.
And they don't care
Yeah.
because of the money. I mean,
Madden-
you got
Y'all can tag Madden in this too. I don't care.
Oh, hold on. Here's the beautiful thing about the Madden community. online, if you go on Twitter, there's a hashtag Fix Madden Franchise. It went trending #1 for at least a month since it dropped. I'm part of that. Every time I get a chance to drop somebody's content, hating on Madden, or just I feel like Madden ain't listening, I go on and I drop that hashtag. I might not even put nothing with it. Just it's a good day to hashtag Fix Madden Franchise because you got to think, man. The people
It's almost like the Breonna Taylor thing. You got to say it every day.
Yeah, every day. Make them not forget. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And here's another thing that EA has failed to realize. In this documentary, it's about 50 minutes long, but it's worth every minute. EA at one point had 19 sports franchise games. 19. Think about that. They only have 4 now. So you went from 19 top-selling sports games to only 4, and they're trashed. FIFA might be good. You got FIFA, hockey, UFC, Madden. That's it. Live, gone by the wayside. You had Tiger Woods golf. You had baseball. You had NASCAR. You had boxing. You had 19 franchises. And you were so caught up on getting money that the games who weren't selling or weren't popular, you scrapped them. And now you only have 4 games in your EA Sports.
And that's where you could have. That's where you could have cornered the market.
Hey, but you know what? You know another thing about EA games that's crazy to me. It's a lot of games that they have that we're asking for.
Yeah.
Bring the fight nights back. Bring those games back. Like, what are y'all doing? Like,
well, they just brought back golf.
No, they need to bring back the
fight
stuff that matters. I mean,
I'm not
going to play no golf game. I'm just going to be honest with you.
I play golf on my daggone phone. I don't want to.
I'm not spending $60 to play golf, and there's no appeal to me.
Exactly.
I'm not playing golf in real life.
I'd rather do, like you said, fight night. Bring back fight night. I'll spend the $60 to be in the boxing.
Yes.
Hey, man, they got to give Floyd Mayweather that money and put him on the case. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Now, unless Tyson does something later on this year, we'll figure that out later.
I mean, but think about how crazy that is to say that you went from 19 titles of sports down to 4, and them 4 you can't even get right. Like, to me, that says whoever is running EA now has lost the vision, has lost their way, and it went from being simulation sports to let's just get this money. Now, granted, they're going to get it because you got kids grabbing mom and dad's credit card who want that MUT pack because they see YouTubers. And that's another thing about the Madden thing.
YouTubers are the influencers
YouTubers are getting these MUT packs, and you see them on there YouTubing about getting this pack. But the kids don't know that EA is giving them these packs to go on YouTube and sell the game for them.
That's right.
So, I mean, I can speak about this all day because Madden season for me, I watch the YouTube videos, I read the reviews, I get ready. You know what I mean? For me, it's like I still play. Like, you know what I'm saying? For me, it's that thing where and that's the thing about the franchises that I love. It was you, and if you played sports and you get to run your own team, the day-to-day. They used to have budgeting. They used to have it to where if you wasn't running your team right and you wasn't making money, the bank took your team. The NFL took your team from you and sold it. Now I can't even get a contract right on the game without it killing my team and being on some bullshit. Like, to me.
They got to go back. They got to get back to where they was, man.
They missed their calling somewhere.
I'm passionate about it because that was my game for years. And to be able, like I said, I'm in a league right now with 6 guys, and it's one of those things where I like doing it. It's like playing chess. You know what I mean? That's my chess. I get on there. I get to build my team from the ground up. I get to run the team. I used to be able to build your own stadium. Yeah. Now I get this crappy design stadium that they want me to use. Like, it's just so much features.
It's not as immersive as it once was.
No, immersive ain't the word. It's just it's sad. I mean, the amount of stuff you create a fan, create a player, create a team. You know what I mean? These are things that are not in the game anymore.
Yeah.
And haven't been in the game for years. You know what I mean? Contracts used to be better. Like, I can actually sign a free agent, and instead of having him for 1 year, I can sign him for 4 off the rip and not have to worry about, redoing it at the end of the year. I mean, it's just so many minute little things that the NFL really does. And you say that you're the official game in the NFL and you don't even have those things. Now, let's not even get onto the gameplay where you got players being warped into each other. You got you got double jumps. My guy jumps, catch the ball, and jumps again. I don't know how.
No,
the physics on that.
No, DC. I seen a dude catch the ball on the 1 yard line yesterday. Like this. He got up and ran it back 99 yards.
And see, that's what I'm saying.
You know what, Matt? I'm turning this shit off. I'm not even about to play with y'all.
Let me. Okay. Here's one. I had a guy catch the ball. Somehow the ball get kicked out of his hands, goes in the air and get caught for an interception. And I'm talking, 3-4 yards the other way. And I'm just like, man, the physics, the blocking.
Let me see. This year, I thought one thing. This is what I'm gonna say. And this is me being crazy, Chris. Again, when I seen Lamar Jackson play in actual real life, I said Madden's gonna be back. I said, there's no way you cannot go design a Madden that is gonna be relentless. I don't know if you remember when Mike Vick came.
Yeah. Mike Vick was
when he had them successful seasons. When he had them successful seasons and they brought back the quarterback vision.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated it. But I love the quarterback vision. It taught you how to throw. Right. And then my thing with Madden is every year they feel like they got to change the components of the game. How you got to change how you got to get hit. You change how you do this. You change how you do that. When are we going to get something that's consistent for Madden?
Let's not even forget we used to have training camps, camps, 40-yard dash,
the mini games.
You used to have a senior bowl. At the end of the season, you would take incoming seniors and actually pay them in a senior bowl so you can see the prospects on the real field. Not this scout. And the scouting is horrible.
Everything about
I press 3 buttons and I get to know how good a player is. What is that? There's no skill. Like, it's just – I can talk about this all day. We could do like a Madden podcast. I can do this all day.
Like, literally,
because just some of the things –
EA Sport game.
Just some of the things just over the years that they've taken away. And then another tactic. They take something away from you. 3 years later, they sell it back to you like it's new. Like, I haven't seen this before.
I know what a fucking connected franchise is.
Believe it or not, there used to be superstars' abilities back in the day. They called it, but it wasn't X Factor. It wasn't Superstar X Factor. They were superstar abilities, but they weren't. Like, this shit they got now is superhuman power shit. Like, it's overdone. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they were simple things. You know what I'm saying? Your player
would turn your player into a different person. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I get 4 sacks and now my guy's the Incredible Hulk. Like, that just don't make no sense. Like
Lamar Jackson, I think if he run for 10 yards now, he get his X Factor turn on.
Here's a look. The new Madden 21, he has what they call trust. It's this ability where you do 8 runs of 1 yard or more, this thing turns on. He will not fumble. Once his X Factor ability turns on, he will not fumble.
I'm glad you told me that, DC.
Let me say that again for the people in the back. 8 rushes of 1 yard or more. His X Factor lights up. He will not fumble no matter what. Tell me how real that is.
It's not.
Like, this is like, now this ball is super glued to his hands every rush after you run.
That's that duct tape.
Dog, like, it just don't make no sense.
He got duct tape and stickums on.
Stickums right there.
Like, the ball is sold to his glove. Like, it just don't, like, and again, don't get me wrong. I'll get on this and I'll say what I say, but I love Madden because I love football. I've coached it. I've played it. Like, this is one of those things where, like I said, it's chess. The feel of being able to turn the game on, build my team, and compete, and take my team out there, and, you know what I'm saying, just see if my team is better than your team. Make moves to make my team better week in and week out. And all the little things you used to be able to do, you know.
There's plenty of guys like that I work with that would, I need your gamer tag, you know, because they want to, you play Madden? Okay, let me get your gamer tag.
Like, I'm still trying to get Courtney on, but, you know, he's ducking and dodging me.
For those that don't know, like, if DC's more passionate than anything than Agents and S.H.I.E.L.D. is Madden. So
It's
let
Madden.
that be known right now.
That is my I feel like I've worked on that game as much as I've played that game, and year in and year out.
I'm interested to hear Chris two games because we got Madden on both of ours, Chris.
Yeah.
So mine's aren't sports. Mine are typical games. So I think the best game I've possibly played. I have a best and I have a favorite. Then I got a worst. So the best game I've possibly played. It's a tie between Xboxes, the original Xboxes, Batman the animated series, and and the Punisher.
I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, Chris.
All right. Yeah,
about the Punisher.
Yeah, the Punisher. Punisher, you could do anything. You can punish.
That was a gritty game.
Yeah, it was gritty as hell.
Max Payne was another gritty game.
Yeah. Batman the Animated Adventures game. Reason why I picked that as well is because it was done in the same style as the cartoon, and it was voiced by Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. And what's her name? Tara. I can't think of her name.
Reed.
Yeah, not Reed. Heard.
Strong.
The one that Tara Strong. Tara Strong.
Yeah. She's still doing it.
He's still doing it. And once the only downside was that you had limited back cuffs. Because every time you knocked out one of the thugs, if you did not cuff him,
he would get away.
He would get back up. All you had to do was turn back around, and he would be that same thug again. Once I got the code to get the unlimited back cuffs and batarangs, that's all I needed. Because now I'm like, I'm about to go in hard now, and it was fun. There's like a ending game parts, the ending scenes, or the ending part of the scene is where you're on a hot air balloon, like a blimp, finding Joker. Joker dives out the blimp, and you have to dive in the air after him. And while he's falling, he's shooting up bombs in your face. And so you have to dodge the bombs and catch him before y'all both hit the ground. And
that was hard to do sometimes. I remember playing that game, and I always got to him, but we always hit the ground.
Yeah.
And then you had to restart it from falling again, that free fall again.
Yeah, that free fall, man. I would say, those are my, Red Dead Redemption is probably a good one too. My favorite game right now, favorite games right now, is anything dealing with Lego. If you've played, they Lego games on any system are fun. Like I have on my PS3, I have the Star Wars saga. And when I say the saga, I'm not talking about the last 3 films that just came out. I'm talking about the other 6 prior to it. So that means
the originals.
You go back to the original. You played them all as anyone. The same with the Marvel games, the Marvel Avengers game.
Yeah.
You're talking about 151 unlockable characters. That game is fun.
Deep.
And then my worst is Superman Returns. You mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
That is possibly the worst game I have ever played.
The flying mechanics is trash. And that's another thing about the Avengers. The flying mechanics with Iron Man is so dope.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about when you're flying with Iron Man, you really feel like you're Iron Man flying.
Mm-hmm.
But that Superman Returns, I remember getting that game. Were clunky.
I remember getting that game at a game exchange, and I asked the guy.
DC. Yeah, I love anything Superman, bro.
Well, the Superman Returns game.
Hey, I played that shit.
Garbage.
Hey, I don't care what y'all say.
I played it.
Listen, Chris, I can go to my mama's house right now. That game is sitting in her front room.
I couldn't play that. I got that game from a game exchange.
Wrong, but it was trash.
I got that from the game exchange, and I even asked the guy. I said, "Well, what?" Because it was like $10, and I'm like, "Tell me." Yeah, right. I said, "What do you rate this game?" And he was like, "Probably a 5." And I'm like,
"He ain't never played."
Generally, I would say,
he ain't playing for real, DC.
Right.
He played 5 minutes.
I like generally, I would say, okay, a 5 out of a 10. It's still doable. That game to me was
negative 5,000.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, so we had a EB Games inside of Toledo. I mean, inside Detroit.
In
inside Detroit. We had an EB Games in Detroit.
I miss EB games.
Shout out to
Hey,
EB Games.
Shout out to
original
EB.
GameStop.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
EB games.
Wherever
KB
y'all
Toys.
get to
and
EB
Toys R Us.
games,
KB Toys.
wherever y'all
KB
did to
Toys,
EB
yeah,
games,
EB games.
GameStop, y'all fucked up. That's another fuck up.
Yeah.
Because whatever happened between EB Games and GameStop to make them just go to GameStop, that ruined the legacy of whatever
It did.
EB Games was trying to influence. Because when EB Games changed over into GameStop, I feel like that's where a lot of these bullshit games
Deals?
came.
Well, not
Deals.
only that, because EB Games was like the original. It was like the original EA Sports, an original EA.
but
They had a
I
good
believe-
model, and then they went.
But you know they used
They
to buff
went
the
nuts.
games. You know they used to buff the games there.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
it's the Shiny Boutique. They used to buff the games and get them back out.
Yeah.
It seemed like once they got away from that type of what they did,
care.
they lost their brand. They lost their brand.
It was the same
Now
with GameStop.
everybody-
Anytime you can go there and say, I got like these 5 games. How much can you get it for? $5. What?
$11.59.
$11.59.
I
Hey,
was
look,
But
sitting
then
there,
you
I-
sell it for $20 a
Hey,
piece.
listen,
I've
Like,
seen it. I've seen the meme.
I look, when I was a kid, I didn't understand it. You get what I'm saying? I see my mama flip out in GameStop multiple times.
Yeah,
Because I ain't buying this
yeah.
shit. I'm not buying this shit. So I can't really see why she upset. But then when I start buying stuff from GameStop and I
Pay
realized,
$60.
hey,
go back in
brother,
there, see that same game you sold them
it was
No,
Saints
for
Row.
tw- for
It was
tw-
Saints Row, bro. It was
for
Saints Row.
$20 a piece.
I bought Saints Row a day before it came out, right? I got it the night release.
Mhm.
I'm like, hell yeah. I'm about to play this shit and bring it back. Boom. My mom said, oh, GameStop don't work like that. You can't
Nope.
just play a game. Once you open it, the value goes down.
It's like a
That's
car.
it.
Once you
Exactly.
drive it off the lot,
no,
it's
no.
over.
GameStop a little bit worse than the car.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Because the car you probably still could get. Okay, you buy a car for 85.
you get 14.
You probably can still sell it for 72.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
You still
73,
getting something out of it.
8,000. You still get that much out of it. You take a game from GameStop and you play it one time, that bitch is worth $10.
$60 go to 50.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't understand that. So
$5.
I don't understand how they gauge that stuff. I feel
Because
like they messed up gaming.
They're
Yeah,
metrics.
They did.
Games
Which is why
are
they're out of
gaming.
business. It's part of the reason why they're out of business.
They the
This
reason
is
I
a-
buy digital games now.
This is
That-
this
I'm
is
about
literally
that.
this is literally like around with COVID and everything. This would have been their killing season because you
Nope.
got people that can't. They
A lot of people
go
are going
anywhere.
digital though.
You're
Yeah,
right.
you
That's
see,
the other
my-
thing.
my-
That's
all
the-
my-
digital.
My Xbox is all digital. It don't
All
take a disc
digital.
at all.
I have my disc drive is a Virgin. It ain't never had nothing in it.
Oh,
Trying to tell
untouched.
y'all, no.
Yeah,
disc
mine
at
don't
all.
even have
Pure,
one. Like mine
pure.
don't even
Trying
have
to
a
tell
disc
you,
drive.
pure.
Pure and untouched.
I've
here's
never
the
put a
thing.
disc inside my Xbox.
The cherry has not been popped.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
You gotta- hey, you
Very
can't say
nice.
that like that. You know, what I'm saying? You gotta-
Hey,
With
we
this
talking about
voice,
Xbox.
no,
you
I
never
can't
seen the
say-
CD. He was like,
Chris.
my disc drive, my shit ain't never seen a disc inside of it.
How many of y'all niggas out there can say that about y'all
Yeah,
game?
y'all.
My game is
y'all
not a
getting
freak.
busted
My
Well,
open.
see
game
that-
is not freaky.
Well, so that goes to my next question. Gaming now, going forward, where do you see it going?
Gaming is
future.
gonna be like what our sports is to us
Mhm.
in the future. Gaming is single-handedly carving its own lane. I say that to say this. It was 3 dudes that started off, they were rappers. They started off on a video game, and they became one of the hottest groups in America because of their video game play.
Mhm.
I think it's all about what you want to get out of it. Video game is like that. Because you're creating your own world. You're
Right.
creating your own whatever. And you could go for multiple games. I hope New Gen can agree with what, bring out something that's aligned to what I'm saying is being able to still be able to create and not be afraid to create.
Mhm.
It's a lot of people that you can go to any platform, any video game, and you see people that have created their own lane for themselves.
Oh yeah.
And this new gen, the gen that we have now, I feel like was a great opportunity for everybody to do that. You see from Grand Theft Auto to 2K, from 2K to Warzone, you just see different type of gamers. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Nobody's the same no more. I mean, because when you on 64 or you on them old school games, everybody had the same kind of game plan.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
think
no,
about it,
online.
Yeah.
now
yeah.
you online. I don't see your game. I don't see what you're doing. It ain't 4 screens on my screen. It's 1 screen.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I think gaming has changed so much because of the people in gaming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? The people in gaming have just shaped it so much. The Rodney 2Ks, the people of the new games, they came into gaming playing games.
Yeah.
I feel like the people that was before them, they didn't get to play no games. They didn't have nothing to reference it to. You get what I'm saying? So these people have something to reference it to, and they're going back and they're doing their homework. Like I said, the LA Rushes, the stuff that made those games fun. Now, this is what I will say. Gaming has to get more fun.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can play games and it'd be.
I mean, this is why it's why you have games
cool.
like if you perfect example, like up here in Menor, there's a gaming arcade called Round One. Shout out to Round One, man. You talking about taking me back. They have Mario Kart. Mario Kart, no matter what generation, is
always
fun. And they have 5 seats.
Wait, Chris,
it was set up.
Before you finish, speaking of Mario Kart, did y'all see the Tesla that you could play Mario Kart in using the pedals and the steering wheel?
See, now I got to go look that up.
Oh, Chris. Hey, Chris, when you get a chance, take you about 5 minutes because you're going to be so fucking puzzled. You see a dude, it's a Chinese dude. He's playing Mario Kart in his front. He's waiting. He's like doing like Uber or Lyft.
Mm-hmm.
He's waiting for his client. He's playing Mario Kart. But he's using the shifter, the pedals, and everything. Everything is full functional in his Tesla.
I'm just waiting on. I'm waiting on the accident to happen. That's what I'm saying.
I think you only can play. You only can play the game if you're parked.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's real safe, and it seems like it's something fun. Mm-hmm. And Tesla, they making waves, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
there's people that's able to create in this area, comic books, video games. People that's able to create in this area, we have to cherish those people because they're able to tap into our imagination.
They're finding another way,
kind of a little bit to create these.
I mean, look at Nintendo Switch, and they're already talking about what's Nintendo's biggest bring in, Legend of Zelda and Mario.
Ooh.
Always. And they're already saying, hey, we're going to remaster some of the old Mario games like Mario 64, obviously Mario Kart, Mario Odyssey, all these games. And they're just like, now you can do it on the go. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't talk about Nintendo games in here. That's funny that you bring. Let me go to a little.
Besides GoldenEye, but
yeah, that was a Nintendo game. Yeah, that was a Nintendo game. Nintendo as a whole also should be credited.
Oh,
because they have what they've done with gaming is different. I think they've been able to come in and make the person behind the game get more involved. They have started to create this trend with the interaction with people, with the people of the interactual world. That, I'm gonna get up and dance with my game. I'm gonna get up and do.
And you know what? And they've kept it simple.
Yeah,
but kept it simple.
And it just showed their growth as a company. To find a way to innovate yourself because when they came out with the Wii.
Everybody copied it.
Yeah.
I when I seen Sony do it, I was like,
Sony, it wasn't the same.
I was like, Sony, why would you do that? And then I realized that you chase greatness.
Yeah.
You chase what you cannot beat. Yeah, I mean, come on now.
Xbox had to connect.
The Connect and everything. All that shit was trash.
Oh, that
Connect. If you look at the depth of Nintendo games, look at their quality. Like you said, the Wii. When they were like Wii bowling, look at the character. Look at their avatar.
Simple. But see, that's what Nintendo has always done. They've cornered the market on giving you characters over all this extra frills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
They stuck with that Mario. Look at how Mario, he's evolved.
Well, 35 years. But
he was just a simple, big nose, you know what I'm saying, character.
Plumber.
He wasn't nothing special. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like over the top duck hunting. They came up with games that was just a simple formula of giving you fun without giving you all that extra unneeded over the top stuff.
Yeah,
that's why
That's why I had to stop and give
Nintendo.
Shout out to Nintendo. Nintendo. Shout out to you guys because we're looking to get some of them sponsors. So Nintendo, we giving you that big shout out. Go ahead, hit up Blurred's Eye View so we can beta some of your stuff. Because I know you got something new
coming. We play video games over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. But like I said, I remember on Nintendo I played this game called Spyro.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I might have played it on the GameCube. I might have played it on one of those Nintendo systems. And I remember saying, "Oh man, Nintendo different because the colors,
Yeah,
the noises,
yeah,
the way the way Nintendo carry themselves as a company is
Yeah.
different than any other company. When the
Mm-hmm.
GameCube came out, you can't name one game that was like the GameCube.
no,
You can't name games that were like their games
Nope.
because they were cornerstone games.
they kept it in
They
a
had
certain
they had the
right.
Nintendo 64. You got the Nintendo 64, then you got another transcendent game they come out with is the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have the Wii. Then they got the Nintendo
Super
Switch.
Nintendo.
They got the Super Nintendo.
Like I mean, people are going crazy over Animal Crossing, going crazy. Oh,
Yeah,
you
I
got
don't
these
even know
little,
what that is,
these
but I keep
little.
hearing
Oh,
about
you just got these little avatars, and you're on this island, and you can just do just this random, everyday stuff. But it's fun because
Nintendo is great. Nintendo know how to have fun. They know how to create fun with the family.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to create fun with and like I said, it just comes from veteran leadership.
Yeah,
They didn't have nobody to lean on. They didn't have nobody to look at and say, "Oh, look at PlayStation. Look at what PlayStation's doing."
like we just mentioned, you have Link and you have Mario, and like
Yep.
who doesn't like playing any one of these games in any form, or they're just like, hey, we got a new Legend of Zelda.
Those games give pathway to so many other games, man.
Yeah,
Like just think about it. You got Mario, but every game that came out of Mario was like that. They board was the same.
when
Everything
they
was
had
similar.
what was it, Legend of Zelda: Call of the Wild, when they're explaining the game, I can't tell you how many people I've heard say, I don't care, I just want to play the game. Because it's Legend of Zelda. And for those out there who don't know, his name is Link. Zelda's the princess. So we just couldn't get that.
Time.
For the longest time, everybody was getting Link.
Man, that Zelda's a bad boy with that sword. Nah, man, it's Link.
It's Link, exactly. But it's always been, these staple characters. Like I mentioned, you can't say if you came out like I have Mario Kart.
Okay.
I have a Super Nintendo that I got from a game exchange, and I'm like, the first game I want Mario Kart.
Hey, cut this out. Hey, real talk. I went to go buy a Nintendo 64 last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fuck that. I want a new one. Chris, when I saw that price, I said, oh, I'm going to have to go ahead and bag down here. I have to take that. That's a house payment, brother.
Yeah, right. They
I should have kept my shit. It was about $700. It was about $700 last year.
Because it's a hot commodity. You can't go in the room like, man, I'm bored. Let's play some Mario Kart. I'm down.
Bro, Chris, what is it called? With the Larry Bird on the case.
Oh,
on
Jeremy Bird.
Bruh, listen, my eyes could be hurting right now. I will play that shit. Graphics bad and everything. I will sit here and play it with you because those games that Nintendo had. Like we said, they had Punch Out. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. They had
Mike Tyson's
They had a bunch of. They had Michael Jackson.
Smooth Criminal.
They had. These are some of the games I had. These are some of the games I had at my house. Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal, No Mercy.
No Mercy was fun.
I remember No Mercy came out.
Man.
I remember we got No Mercy. I remember that Christmas we got No Mercy. I got Wrestling Man to go with him. You feel me? So I can tell you that was a good year. My brother played a lot of shooting games. My brother played like 007, of course.
Yeah.
He was big into when we moved on. He was like big into like Hitman and stuff like that, like different little games. There's so many games, like that's what I'm saying. Like, and I just
Metal Gear Solid.
It all goes back.
Woo!
It goes back. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to my brother. He playing that.
Let's not forget about the OG fighting game, which would be Mortal Kombat.
Oh my God, bro! Mortal Kombat. I didn't play every Mortal Kombat. I think.
I mean,
I'm talking about the original. Start around A.
Yeah, start around A.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you my favorite one right now. Dead or Alliance.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
King.
Yeah.
Tekken.
I like Dead or Alliance.
I
like Tekken. I like all those fighting games.
With the old man.
Yeah, I think my favorite fighting game though. Damn, it's gonna be hard.
Let me throw Ninja Gaiden out there.
Ninja Gaiden. That's
what
what
about,
they need
what about
to. They
Ready
need
to
to.
Rumble?
Ready
Woo.
to,
Yeah, ready.
You know what I'm
to
saying?
Ready to Rumble, Dreamcast.
Ready to
Hold on.
Rumble for
yeah.
Dreamcast was different than the one from 64.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Dreamcast for innovating. Y'all remember the little visual memory cards?
Yep.
If you ever
Yeah,
played the
yeah.
2K football on there, all your plays wasn't on the screen. They were on the little memory card inside the controller.
Word.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know?
Word,
Oh,
bro.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Pete, because you know how it was 4 players, so we used to play 2-on-2. And my teammate would be next to me. And the visual memory card, all your plays were on there, so I would show him on there instead of being sit on the screen.
Dreamcast was already visionary.
Dreamcast was ambitious with that.
They were already visionaries.
It just made Sega.
So yeah,
Sega. You know what? But they were always visionaries because even the original Sega,
they were from.
Remember Sega Channel?
Hold on, wait,
Sega Channel.
Hold on, wait, Chris. I'm about to tell you, Sega and Nintendo were competition.
That's
for a reason.
Yeah.
For a reason, because they both had nobody to relate to. They didn't even relate to each other.
Nope.
When they came out with that little memory card to slide in instead of that cartridge,
Sonic saved Sega. Though. If it wasn't for Sonic,
my shit was paper.
Sega would have been different. Paperboy was the shit.
Yeah,
that was the shit, bro.
Look, so I remember having a dream. I mean, the Sega Channel. You had to get it from Time Warner Cable.
Yeah.
You had to hook it up. It was clunky as shit, but it went inside the console. You hooked the cable cord up to it.
Oh, DC, you must have been the only child.
Nope, I was not.
Damn.
But it was in my
room. I didn't even know they had that shit.
Whoa, brother, let me tell you. When I tell you it had every Sega game known to man.
That's crazy.
There was a game, oh, my God.
My favorite game on Dreamcast was Kobe Courtside. May he rest in peace.
Man. I played it once, but my shit was the NFL. But there was a game on Sega. I can't remember the name. Altered Egos. I think it was.
No, are you talking about Altered Beast?
Yes, that
Let me tell you something about Altered Beast.
Hit me, y'all. Y'all got to get me hit.
I babysat my brothers and sister for 2 weeks, saving up cash because that was the first $60 game I had ever seen. I went up there.
Something fierce.
Toys R Us used to have those little paper slips.
Yeah.
So me and my boys would go up there and get that paper slip. Like, we about to get this game. We just gonna hold on to these slips. I went in there with that slip. I came out my pocket, bought I only had $60. I went ahead, boom, there it is. And I had a couple dollars left over for the tax. Went home, never beat that game. I never beat that game.
Love that game. Let me explain it to you, Courtney. This game was like an old school ancient Greece type feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
You were this dude who died, and all you hear at the beginning of the game, rise from your grave. So you go around, it's sort of like Streets of Rage. It was 2D,
it was
side-scrolling, yeah. But you get power-ups.
You would start out like you was these spirit balls that would show, like, after you defeated so many creatures, a spirit ball will come out. So first you're like sitting there, I think you were like bare-fisted fighting at first. And you had like a loincloth on and you're fighting barefisted. But if you got a spirit ball, then you got like
upgrade.
Then you got a sword. So then you keep fighting. You kept fighting. When your next upgrade, you became a werebeast.
Man,
and
that game.
And it would last, and you would go. Man, you would do like this move back and forth.
But you had different animals too.
Yeah, you would do this move across back and forth the screen when you had too many. When you had that last upgrade. And you turn into that werewolf, you could do like this comet move across the screen back and forth. And
I still remember the sounds from that game.
Man.
Like I can hear that.
Y'all boys, man, we want to go get the Dreamcast.
This was on Sega.
That was on Sega.
This is on the
original Sega. Okay.
It's called Altered Beast. And you had different boss to fight, but you become like every level had a different animal. And you get so many spirit bombs that you become this animal. Oh, man, I'm talking like this game was one of them. It was like a game changer, side scrolling. The graphics was kind of shitty, but just the gameplay and the story of it at that time was innovative. It was one of them games that you could play, and it was co-op.
Yeah, it was
co-op.
Yeah.
It was 2 players.
Well, on that note, I hate to break this one up. But this is the end of the show, people. Courtney, you got any plugs, any promotions you want to put out there?
Always got a couple plugs and promotions.
Shout out
to With the Shit Podcast, my brother DC, my brother Coop, my brother Chris Gelly. We be going hard. On Sundays, we record tomorrow.
Yes.
But it's going to drop on like Tuesday. Tune in with us. I am Courtney Duncan on Facebook. FBTG219 on Instagram. And, man, just follow us, man. Subscribe, like, Blur's Eye View. My brother Chris, man. Good luck.
Yeah. What you got, D?
As usual, you know what the shit, the podcast for total anarchy and no rules.
Hey man, don't come over to With the Shit thinking that it's gonna be this nice.
No,
no, this is
it's literally
this is actually me subdued. I'm subdued on this show.
Me too. Me too. I didn't even drink 3 times during this show.
Yeah, this is my calm podcast.
Yeah, I'm saying.
You want to see me?
And I'm just a guest today.
You want to see me get going, lathered up? You can catch out What the Shit. Check me out on Facebook. What the Shit, the page. Blur's Eye View, the page. Also, if you're on Twitter, just go #FixMaddenFranchise for us a couple times. Even if you don't have nothing to do or nothing to say, just drop that. Let them know that you want a better Madden. Other than that, man, you know, just stay blessed. Keep us in mind because we have a lot of stuff to give y'all. And we do this for the people.
Right. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in to Blur's Eye View, and I want to thank our guest Courtney Duncan for coming in. If you like if you like what you've seen or heard on Blur's Eye View, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can follow us on YouTube as well for the video podcast. And if you stay tuned, we will be doing a video react after the show on our new companion show, Blur's Eye View After Dark. Until then, stay nice to everybody. If you can't do nothing nice for yourself, do something nice for somebody else. Keep empowered. Chris G, out. Make sure to listen to Blur's Eye View with your host Chris G on any of your favorite outlets, including Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Be sure to visit our website at blackgamuttentertainment.com and get the latest on news on our podcast, giveaways, and contests. That's Black Gamut Entertainment, GAMUT Entertainment.com. And thank you for listening.